I have one question. That's probably a very quick question. The oil reserves of the United States, the strategic reserve, during especially since it started the special military operation, they were deep down. They dropped for less than half of what it was before, and they start rising again, but very slowly. Just recently, it raised just a little bit. Just is that at the same time that Trump was trying to play, monopoly with the stock markets, there was a drop on oil prices.
Yeah.
Is the United States trying to play that as well? Do you think that they could go even deeper on giving up the strategic reserve?
Well, I don't think they need to replenish the strategic reserve. It was drained by Joe Biden in order to keep gas prices low in this country. So now they've got to rebuild it. So from that standpoint, the lower price of oil helps the government save some money. It's better to fill it up at $60 a barrel as opposed to $70 or $80 a barrel. And that will be one of the consequences if the United States decides to follow through on its attack on Iran. Then the price of oil will skyrocket. So it is. I don't think. I doubt that Trump and his team are thinking strategically like you are. Okay.
Am I?
Well, just that the nature of the question, you're looking at it and saying, you're thinking that the movement of the price of oil is connected to a policy that something they're trying to accomplish. I don't think that the movement of the price of oil was necessarily the outcome of a policy decision. I think it was more of a fringe benefit.
All right. Well, that's one thing that I always say to my other friends that have analyst channels. You overthink things. Just believe that there's some very stupid people taking decisions.
Yeah. You get very, very embroiled in the analysis without, recognizing there may just be a very, very simple explanation. They had no clue.
I always loved you because you always come with that explanation. They have no clue. And, I do believe.
I've seen it too many times throughout my career working both in the private sector and in government, that the most dangerous thing is there's always somebody that says, somebody's taking care of that, or somebody knows what they're doing. No, they really don't. They have no clue. That was one of the the beliefs surrounding the war in 2003 in Iraq, that this was part of some grand U.S. strategy to. And I know that Wesley Clark said he saw a plan to start 7 wars, but if that was their plan, they fucked it up big time. But they didn't go. It's one thing to say, we're going to start this war and we're going to get this outcome. It's going to become a great democracy. Okay, so let's put people in charge that know Iraq, that speak Arabic, that know the history. And and I've told the story, I think, to you before. The guy that was selected to go be the poobah, sort of the acting ruler of Iraq, was L. Paul Bremer, Jerry Bremer. And I knew Jerry. He was the coordinator for counterterrorism. He left that job just as I arrived at state. So I would have originally been working under him, but instead I worked under his successor, Morris Busby. But so I knew Jerry, and when he was named to go over and take that job, I called him up and said, "Hey, let me introduce you to Pat Lang. Pat had been the defense attaché to both Saudi Arabia and Yemen. Pat had established the Arabic program at West Point. He was they started teaching it, and he was the instructor of Arabic. He was also the DIA's chief of the Middle East division. So, and he had hand carried intelligence to the government of Iraq during the Iran-Iraq War. So he knew there was not another American that knew more about Iraq than Pat Lang. And when I told Bremer, I said, hey, let me introduce you. No, I don't need to talk to him. That's what I mean. You got a bunch of people on paper look to be really, really smart, and they do some of the stupidest stuff and make some of the worst decisions you can imagine.
Yeah, I watched some of the videos from the Center of Strategic, whatever.
Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS.
Exactly, CSIS. And I worked many years on academic, environment. And what I learned from academic, I'm a software developer. I'm not, a PhD on physics, whatever, a researcher on high energy physics or something like that. I'm the computer guy. What I notice on that is that people discuss among them things that are not practical.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see the videos from the CSIS, those people do exactly the same. They are too academical. They do not discuss practical things.
Yeah.
They even sometimes recognize, for example, if China attacks Taiwan, then we have no chance. China will have us under the finger. But yeah, perhaps we can do it. You just recognized 2 minutes ago that it was impossible. Just recognize it's impossible.
Yeah.
Smart move.